Good afternoon and welcome to Maths by Gary Maths Tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at the perimeter and area of shapes. So first of all, what is the perimeter? Well, the perimeter of a figure is the total distance around the edge of the figure. So let's take a look at the rectangle. The perimeter of the rectangle is the four sides of the rectangle added up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So these four sides added together gives you the perimeter of the rectangle. Then we move on to a right angle triangle, which is three sides. The three sides, 1, 2 and 3, added together give you the perimeter of the triangle. And then lastly, the square. The four sides of the square, 1, 2, 3, 4, added together give you the perimeter of the square. Now, area. What do we mean by area? Well, the area of a figure is the number of unit squares that can be contained within it. So let's just take, for example, the rectangle, the area of the rectangle. So we know that the length here is 3 centimetres and the length here is 4 centimetres. So what we want to do is figure out the area. So imagine we split the rectangle into boxes. So 1, 2 and 3, 1 centimetre, 2 centimetre, 3 centimetre. And then 1, 2, 3 and 4. So let's put it into grids. So it's 3 centimetres length by 4 centimetres breadth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 unit boxes can be made in the rectangle, which is simply 3 times 4. So the area of this rectangle is 12 centimetres, but remember it's centimetres squared because it's the area that we're after and the number of unit squares. So 3 times 4 is 12 centimetres squared. That gives you the area of the rectangle. So we're now going to go and look at perimeter and area in a little more detail. So first of all, we're going to look at the perimeter of the rectangle. So to get the perimeter of the rectangle, what we have to do is add up the four sides of the rectangle. So note that two sides are the same. We have 3 and 3, and the other two sides of the rectangle, 4 and 4. So in order to get the perimeter of the rectangle, we simply add 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, which gives us 14. Remember the units, 14 centimetres. So the perimeter of the rectangle is 14 centimetres. The perimeter of the right angle triangle, we have 3, 4 and 5, the three sides. 3 plus 4 plus 5, which equals 12 centimetres. And lastly, we have the square, which is 4 sides. So we know that each side is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can simply do 4 times 5. Or we could, if we want, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and it gives us the same answer, 20 centimetres. So 14 centimetres, 12 centimetres and 20 centimetres. Let's now move on to the area. So we did the area of the rectangle in the first slide, but let's just take a look at it again. So it's 3 times 4. 3 times 4 gives us 12, and remember that's centimetre squared. So what we are really doing is we are splitting it into boxes. So there's 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 by 4. So it's like, imagine a grid of 3 by 4, and each box in the grid is 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre, and that's how we get centimetre squared. Because if you imagine centimetre times centimetre, we'd have centimetre to the 1, centimetre to the 1. When we multiply, it then becomes centimetre squared. So that is effectively what this small box represents as 1 centimetre squared. So for a rectangle, 3 fours, the length by the breadth gives us 12 centimetres squared. So moving on to the area of the right angle triangle. How do we find the area of the right angle triangle? Well, in fact, there's two ways to do this. What we could do is we could first see it's a right angle triangle, but if we extend, we can turn the triangle into a rectangle. But remember, all we want is the area of the triangle. So in order to do that, we simply multiply 3 by 4. So 3 times 4 gives us 12. So we then halve the 12, so divide by 2 equals 6 centimetres squared. Or what we could do for the area of a right angle triangle, half the breadth times the height. So we could do half times 3, half the breadth times the height. So we want to find half of 3, so 1.5 multiply 4. 1.5 times 4 again gives us 6 centimetres squared. So either way is correct. You can either turn the right angle triangle into a rectangle, or it may even be a square. In this case, it's a rectangle because it's 3 and 4. It's not two sides the same. So 6 centimetres squared, and that's the two different ways in which you could find out the area of the right angle triangle. Moving on to the square, simply 5 times 5. So 5 multiplied by 5 gives us 25 centimetres squared. So there we have the area of the rectangle, the right angle triangle, and also the square. So now we're going to move on to some shapes that are a bit unfamiliar. So again, the best way to tackle this particular one, it's the perimeter. We want to find out the edge of the shape. So we have this edge, this edge, this edge here, plus this edge, add this edge, add this edge. So we simply have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 edges to add up. So if we just go round it in a circle, so if we start up here at 5, so 5 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5 and then plus 5. So we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is correct. So just a wee check there. So 10 plus 5, 15, 25, 30, 35 and 40. So the perimeter is 40, and always remember your units, centimetres. So the area, now the area of this shape, if we look at it, what we actually have is two shapes. So if we split it here, we then have the area of a rectangle plus the area of the square. So take the square first of all. So 5 times 5, 5 times 5 gives us 25 centimetres squared. And then 5 times 10 plus 5 times 10, which gives us 50 centimetres squared. 50 plus 25 is 75. So your answer for the area of this shape is 75 centimetres squared. And remember, what we've done is we turned it into a rectangle and a square. So 25 plus the 50, and that gives us 75 centimetres squared. So let's take a look at a different shape. So what about here? Again, we actually really have two shapes. So if you notice that you get two shapes, it really does simplify things, and it makes life easier if you just turn it into the two shapes. So shape 1, shape 2, what we're doing we'll do the area first this time, we're adding 1 plus 2. So we're adding shape 1 plus shape 2. So how would we get shape 2? Well, it's a rectangle, so 4 times 5. So 4 times 5 gives us 20 centimetres squared. That gives us shape 2, the rectangle. And now what we want is basically to work out shape 1. So how would we do that? It's a triangle. So we know, make it a little bit easier, it's 4 centimetres, so this here is also 4 centimetres. This line is 9 centimetres, so from here to here is 9 centimetres. From the bottom to here is 5 centimetres. So we know that the length from here to here is 9 minus 5, which is 4 centimetres. So we know it's 4 centimetres here, this is 6 centimetres, and it's 4 centimetres here. So what we could do is simply turn it into a square, and then multiply 4 times 4 to give us the area of the square. If we half the square, we'll then get the area of the triangle. So 4 times 4 equals 16 centimetres squared, divided by 2 gives us 8 centimetres squared. So the 20 plus the 8 is 28 centimetres squared. And we could also have done half the base times the height. Half the base would be half of 4, which is 2, but 2 times the height, which is 4. So that would have been 2 times 4, giving us 8 centimetres squared. So we would have got 8 for here and 20 for here. 20 plus the 8 gives us 28 centimetres squared. Now, the reason I decided to do the area first and not the perimeter was simply because I wanted to find out what size, what length it was from here to here. So now we look at it, everything is all jotted out, and the perimeter is simply 9 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4. So we count how many lengths there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, just to check, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 9, 6, we have 15, 20, 24. 24, and don't forget centimetres squared. So the perimeter of this shape is 24 centimetres squared. And just remember, if you see familiar shapes and you're able to turn one shape into two shapes, break it down, it can make life a little easier for you. And we've got one more shape coming up. Now looking at this, you might think it's a little daunting and think, how would we work out the perimeter and the area? So what we know is we know some lengths. We know that from here to here is 10 centimetres. We know from here to here 6 centimetres. Here to here also 6 centimetres. And here to here 6 centimetres. Here to here is 2. Here to here is also 2. So what don't we know? We don't know here to here and here to here. We don't know the length of this part and this part, but we can find it. So we know that it's 10 here and it's 6 there, and we know these are both the same. So 10 minus 6 will give us 4. So we now know 4 divided by 2, the two sides are the same, 2 centimetres and 2 centimetres. So the perimeter, we want to add up all of the shape, all of the outside of the perimeter, so the edge of the full shape, everything that's in black. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 sides to add up. So 6, we'll start here, 6 plus 10 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 and 6, 16. 16 plus 6, 22. 22, 24, 26, 32, 34, 36. So 36 centimetres for the perimeter of this shape. Now the area of the shape. How do we find out the area of the shape? Well, if you look at it, what would be the easiest way to do it? We could split the shape into other shapes. We could split it into 3 rectangles. We could go split here and here. So we'd have 1, 2, 3 rectangles. But if you notice, the easiest way to do it would simply be if we cut here and here and turn this into one big rectangle, and then it leaves us with 2 squares which are the same. So we now have the area, the rectangle first of all. So we'll call this 1, we'll call this 2, we'll call this 3. So the rectangle 1 is simply 6 times 10. So 6 times 10, and then plus shape 2, which is 2 times 2, 2 times 2, and then plus the third shape, 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2, which gives us 6 times 10, 60 plus 4 plus 2 times 2 plus 4, which gives us 68 centimetres squared. And there you go, that's the area of this particular shape, which is broken into 2 squares, 1 rectangle. So I hope you've enjoyed the videos and you've learned something today. If you have, please feel free to give us a like. Thank you, and you can subscribe also.